Okay, so moving right along with our solving, today we are going to talk about two-step inequalities. So you guys, again, this is the same stuff that we've been doing in all of Unit 2 with solving. We're just practicing our solving technique again. We are graphing on the number line. So all the things are just keep repeating every lesson, just like we did in Unit 2. So we want to be experts at solving equations, and this is how we're going to do that, by lots of practice. So let's talk about real quick, just reviewing a little bit, what we call these terms when we're in an inequality or an equation. So the number that is with the variable is called the coefficient, and hopefully you remember that from earlier or from last year. And the number that stays the same is called the constant. Okay, so we always want to move the constant first, okay, and move it to the other side by doing the opposite, right, like we talked about in the other lesson in all of our equations. And then the coefficient is what's going to go last. Every time you have something with the variable, that's the last to move, all right? Usually by multiplying or dividing in our equations, all right? So we're going to start with our two-step. Same exact thing. We're going to add or subtract most of the time with our constant and almost all the time with our coefficient. We're going to multiply or divide. All right, so first one, 4x minus 3 is less than or equal to 21. We're going to solve it and then graph on the number line like we've been doing with our other ones in 3.2, okay? So I'm going to add 3 because it is subtraction. Our rules still apply today too with the multiply and divide by a negative. We're going to have to flip that symbol if that happens. So we've got 24 there. This is multiply, so I'm going to divide by 4, and I have x is less than or equal to 6. So there's my inequality. I'm going to graph it on a number line. So I have 5, 6, 7. Remember, our less than or greater than is going to be an open circle. If it has an equal to, it's going to be a closed circle. We read it from left to right like a word, and it tells us which direction once we say that. So this would be a closed circle. If it's less than, it's going to go to the left because all of our smaller numbers would go to the left. Remember, this would be like 4, 3, 2, 1, and they just keep getting smaller. Okay? All right, next one. We've got 1/5 being subtracted, so I'm going to add 1/5 here. I have 2/3 x is less than or equal to 3/5. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. You can divide by 2/3 if you want as well. Okay, these cancel, and I have x, no negatives here, so don't have to flip anything. And I'm going to have 9/10. Okay, so again, fractions you can kind of count like you want to. I'm going to have 8/10, which would be 4/5. 9/10. Oh, yeah. And then 10/10 would be 1 whole. Okay. So this would be close because it is an equal to and less than again. So again, I'm going to the left. All right. Move on down here. We have negative 3c plus 2 is greater than 4. So I'm going to subtract 2 because it's a positive. Negative 3c is greater than 2. Divide by negative 3. So right there, I'm dividing by a negative. So my symbol has to flip. So now I have c is less than, and this is just a fraction. It doesn't simplify. You're going to get a yucky decimal if you do that. So I'm going to leave it as a fraction. Kind of running out of space. So I'm going to come over here and do my number line. I've got negative, so this would be like negative 3/3 or negative 1, negative 2/3, and then negative 1/3. Open circle because it doesn't have an equal to, and then less than goes to the left. Okay, Not as many today because you know what you're doing. We're repeating the same thing over and over again, so we know how to do this. So just a couple more here. We're going to do plus 12 on both sides. I have 4x, x is greater than or equal to 34. Okay, divide by 4 on both sides. Okay, as you can hopefully tell, this isn't going to go in evenly, so x is greater than or equal to 4 goes into 34 8 times. That's 32 with 2 left over. So 2 over 4 would be 1/2. You need to use your calculator to do so. It'll convert it for you. So then I have 8, 8.5, 9. This would be a closed circle because it's equal to, and greater than is to the right. Okay, one more together. I've got b over 3 plus 4 is less than 13. So again, that constant, or that number that's not with a variable, goes first. Going to get rid of 4. I have b divided by 3 is less than 9. b over 3 is division, so I'm going to multiply by 3. No negatives here, so nothing to worry about with that. 9 times 3 is 27. Number line, nice and easy. 26, 27, 28. Open circle, and less than is to the left. Okay, pause the video, try these two on your own, and then you're ready to roll. Okay, so again, constant goes first. Sorry, that was my oven. 6y is greater than 12. Divide by 6. And y is greater than 2. All right, so I have 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't put 2 in the middle, but that's okay. So 2 is going to be an open circle, and greater than goes to the right. Okay, last one. We have 4 minus 3d is greater than or equal to 19. Okay, so 4 is still a positive, so I'm going to subtract it. And I drop down negative 3d because the negative's in front of it. This would be 15. Negative 3 is being multiplied, so I'm going to divide by negative 3. Hopefully you're catching what I'm saying. I'm dividing by a negative, so I have to flip, which means that my greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to negative 5. Okay, counting backwards, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. This would be equal to, and less than goes to the left. Okay, you are ready to go.